Hello, I'm Bird and I'm back with rebuilding Palermo. As always, thanks for joining me. I really do appreciate it, especially you guys. I mean, what's this? Episode 7, Season 7. I didn't know how successful this one would be compared to Coventry, but I think it's done okay. A good group of you keep coming back, and I've absolutely loved it. I've got this whole new love for Italian football and for this club. I mean, I think it's been an absolute joy to play this, like seriously. I'm going to have to do some more lower level Italian saves, I think, in the future, either on YouTube or just for me. So yeah, thank you as always. Make sure you smash that like button if you do enjoy the episode and what I do. And if you really enjoy what I do, you can always support the channel a little bit more by pledging to my Patreon. You find a link to that down below. So we've got actually a lot to get through, really. It's a big episode. I'm going to try and do something different with it as well. Something a bit different than I've normally done. Not too freaking crazy. Anyway, let's get started. Well then, last season went pretty well. We had some good players, some really good loans. We've got a couple of good players of our own. And again, I was going to try and do a bit of business and make us some money, but also spend some money. I was going to spend big on a couple of players this year. But also use that loan market as well, because especially at this point now, there's some really good wonder kids on this game. And there's a wealth of talent out there you might as well tap into if you can. Anyway, so last year it was pretty good. Coppa Italia was shit. We got knocked out in the first round by Sampdoria. Let's forget that. Got to the quarterfinals though of the Europa League, where we faced the biggest club in the world, Manchester United, and got beat. But you know, dipping our toe in Europe, that was great. It was the league where I thought we blew people away. It was amazing. Inter Milan, of course, were out of this world. Then they lost one game. And I got busy in that transfer market. We brought a lot of players in a free, and some of them who were brought in, I initially thought, I'm going to keep you, but then when I saw someone even better on loan, I went and sold them. Now, we've sold a couple that come straight in. Some big players, Philip Billing, Rafa Mert, who I've had before, both weirdly gone to Sheffield United for decent amounts of money. I can't say that name. I used to be able to, but I end up, my tongue's getting twisted. Two decent players have gone there as well. They've spent a lot of their money on them. I'm happy with that. A lot of players have filled out, again, into Italy, which I feel is good because we're bringing them in. Maybe they wouldn't have signed for these clubs, or the computer AI wouldn't have signed him. I have. We're pumping him into the country, and I think this Italian league is getting better and better. And you'll see this year the competitiveness of it. Just remember some of the positions of some of the teams in that league I've just shown you from last season, and wait to see what happens this year. Now, as always, I kind of struggle finding a good young goalkeeper. I think they're very hard to find. They do eventually come along, or you can always maybe get yourself an old ex-top pro once they've been discarded, like I did with Coventry. And we got Alisson, won it, from Liverpool, and we ended up winning the league. Now I'm struggling still to find a keeper I want to spend either big on, or the wonder kid, or a good young prospect. And even though I goalkeeper into World Day, I mean, he does a job. He ain't bad, but he ain't great, is he? Maybe this will be the... what I'm trying to do as we go along each year is fill spots. Like I got a good right back, and then I'll try and buy a good striker. This year I was going to try and get myself a left back and so on. Do you know? And start building that team of mine. I usually end up goalkeepers last unless I come across someone. I still haven't, so he's still our number one. But maybe that'll be that final piece, eh? That top keeper that'll tip us over the edge to greatness. I'm not going to show you the whole squad, and I'm going to show you some of the other players that I've already had, just so you know what we've got going into the season. And of course, we've still got Stefano Azzurri, an ex-Atalanta player who came here on loan. We then end up doing a good deal for him. He's a good player. He has a lot of attention for big clubs, but he doesn't mold. He's signed a new deal. He's happy to stay here. He loves Palermo. I love him. We have a brand new centre-half, and he's one of our own. Cost me $5.5 million minimum fee release clause from Santos. So I'm using one of my foreign slots, but I think it's about time. And I like it. I think he's a good young Brazilian. I love his hair. Brazilian centre-half who can cover at full-back, but he is going to be a centre-half, 6'3", big guy. Next up, we've signed Giovanni Mauro. If you recognise him, it's because we had him last year on loan when he was a wonder kid at Milan. I put a bid in for him, and they accepted only 8 million. He's now worth 20. So I think his contract's coming to an end, but I'm not that ass. He's no longer a wonder kid, and even some of his defensive abilities maybe put me off. Tackling 13, marking 12, positioning 13. They're three key attributes I look for in the centre half, but his physicals are great. And he just fits the tactic. He's brilliant. He was great for me last year. Now at this point, I was wondering what to do. I had money burning a hole in my pocket. I had about 20 million quid. Right. And I've got Entender. This is this kid here, who we signed last season. He's a good young player, but I think he's going to be more of a squad player. We got him from Juventus. His backup is Rizzo, who's got some interest in him actually from some lower level teams. Wanted there, you can see. I think Sasula and stuff like that. And he's decent, but he's not worth a lot. He's 28 years old. I think he needs to go, and Tender needs to step down. It's about time I found myself a left back that would rival Atzori on the right back position. Defensive midfielders, we've still got Kev, great player, coming into his second season now. He wanted to leave Parma obviously last year and step up, and this year I'm hoping he steps up because we're in the Champions League. Now his backup potentially is going to be Damiano, who is actually going into his 4th season with us now. We've had him on loan for 3 years, and then the last year loan, I put in a cheeky offer of we'll buy him at the end of it for 10 million, and they accepted it. So they just don't want him. They've loaned him out to me year after year. He loves us now because he's basically been a Palermo player for the last 3 years. In the centre, my new number 1 is of course Roberto Mateus, the young Portuguese player we got from Benfica. I know he says he's unambitious, but I think the kid's a talent. He's no longer a wonder kid for some reason, but he is a talent. We also have Rasic, who we had on loan last year and was outstanding last year. We had him on loan from Lazio. Like I said, he was worth 14 million. Sometimes you go unsuggested and they'll say, we want 14 million. Don't always accept it. Sometimes come away from it. Leave it a day or two. Go back in and half it. So I halved it and went back in with 7.5 million. And they said, no, we'll take 8.75. Brilliant. But he's going to be fighting with his position with a loanee of mine. Brian Diaz, 20-year-old Spaniard who looks very good in my opinion. Can't pass as well. No, they both got 13 for passing, but they've both got great skill and in a lot of areas. Very similar, so they'll probably be fighting for a position. And he's a wonder kid as well. On the left, we've loaned another wonder kid, a 19-year-old Portuguese player called Luis Serra from Benfica. They have some cracking young players in this game. We've had a couple now, haven't we? We've had a few from Benfica. But my number 1 is going to be one of them players I picked up on a free and initially to maybe sell on. But once he got into the club, I liked him and he looks good. He's got good ability. Curtis Jones. On the right wing, I've loaned another player, Branislav Butlatovic, 19 years old. Again, he's a wonder kid. He's come from Inter Milan. They've got some good young players there as well. Can play against Inter when we play him, and good player. But my number 1 is, of course, going to be Matteo Sorrentino. I brought him in last year as a potential backup left winger. But now, because he played most of last year as a right winger, he's now natural there, which is great. He developed. He's still only 20. Now up top, we have, of course, got Mr. Mazuko. Bit of a legend now. He's still only 22 years old. He's never going to be a world beater. I always say that. But he's a good squad player. He'll score you a goal here or there. Now, my number 1 striker last year was Claudio Ribeiro. Pretty big purchase for us last year. Good player. He used to be a wonder kid. He's no longer one, but he's still a good striker, good technique. I just didn't feel like he scored me enough goals, and I like to have a few extra strikers. And I felt like if I could get one, let's get one. So I spent big on one. And it was Mr. Inaki Arieta, 22-year-old Spaniard from Udinese. So he knows the league. He only scored all 10 goals in 35 games, but I'm not going to say that makes him a bad player. Just maybe it's the Udinese team who spent 25 million on him. So here's my coaching team. We've done nothing different than last year. You might remember I brought in Ronaldo to fill out a slot because he's a legend. Imagine having Ronaldo training you. And I like developing staff. I like developing players, and I like developing staff. Don't always work. I mean, I've had Fernando Torres, and he just never gets any better. Don't bother with him. But I've seen Ronaldo become a good manager, so he might become a good coach first. And I was going to get a couple more slots, and I just didn't feel like I needed to get more quality. I felt like I was going to use them slots to try and develop some staff members. So the bookies fancy us? Well, they've got us in 7th, which ain't bad. My right back's the number 1 right back in the league. I think we've got a good players though. It's young though, that's probably it. It's a lot. It's a very young team. I've still got signings to make. You'll see them in a bit, but it's still a young team. Squad average age 22. The board happy with top half. Balls to that. We were freaking runners up last year, you cheeky bastards. Champions League, just be competitive. It's all about just let's just see how it is. See how much money we can make out of it. You know what I mean? Coppa Italia as well. I'd like to do well in this. Been crashing out quite early. That'd be quite cool if we could do something there. Financially, this is where we are right now, and that's how much money I had in the bank. I could have a bit of wiggle room, and I was going to need that wiggle room because I had one big purchase left in there. And we went all out on Frank Bock. It cost me 22 million. It was a minimum fee release clause, and the socials, the fans of Bayer Leverkusen were not happy. One of them even said, "I've never seen this. Damn," or something like that. Damn minimum fee release clauses. I had to offer him a big contract because I just felt like I've done this before with players like him, where you think you're in there, and then the club is at a similar size to you anyway, and they'll just offer him a new deal and he'll stay. So I wanted to make sure he came because I was really struggling and I wanted a wonder kid. I wanted a wonder kid left back that could match me right back, who we could develop. Over to our pre-season, and we had a training camp in Italy again for some weird reason. Not very fancy. So we played that team because they were nearby training. You get the options, don't you? So we played them. And then we went out to the States and played some teams in America. I love the States, and we did all right apart from that last game. I was quite shocked to get beat, to be fair, but it is what it is. Now the club's still improving. We've done loads here. I sent some of the lads out on leadership courses over the summer to try and just, build better leaders. No harm in that, is there? I don't know if you do that, but I like to do that over the summer because I think it takes them away from training when they do it in the normal season. I don't want to do that. So, we're improving training and youth again. And the club is growing, and to be fair, we've had a few. I've seen it 3 times now where it said there's rumours the club's going to get sold, but the chairman keeps putting it back and back and back. That might be cool, but if someone came in with a ton of money, that'd be ace. But at the minute, we've still got the same owners and the same affiliates that the owners won't let me improve. I think they'd let me get more loan ones, but I don't really want them. I want a money affiliate, and for some, I've tried now probably about 20 times to do it. Look, you can see that's greyed out. I've tried it recently at this point as well. They just will not have one. Last year we were top of this. We're second this year, but it's still showing you, innit? We're not far off the Premier League, but I think this league growing over these last few years. We started off, not a lot of teams had a lot of money. I think the wealth's starting to spread out, and that's a great thing. I feel like the league's coming alive, and I'm loving being in Italy. And I was handed a fairly tough group, and we were not favourites to go through because obviously you got Chelsea and Dortmund, and I did not expect Dortmund to be the team at the bottom. When I saw Lokomotiv Moscow, I thought we'll have them. I'm okay with that. But we started off brilliantly, going to Dortmund and winning 3-0 away in my first game. Made me think, shit, wow. So obviously we lost 2 games, 1-2 Lokomotiv, weirdly enough, which was, to be fair, the last game, and I B-teamed it. I just played, when I say B-team, it sounds disrespectful. Just the players who are not playing as much. Squad rotating. We drew 1 game against Chelsea away. And we won 3. Obviously, both against Dortmund and against Lokomotiv Moscow. We're going through in second, which is amazing. Some might say, oh, third. And maybe I was thinking third would be good. Might do better in the Europa League, but I'll sack it. Let's go as far as we can go. Let's make as much money as we can go. Got good players, man. So over to the Serie A, and we are currently 3rd, which again I think is pretty respectable. Inter at the top again, but they're good, but they're not as good as last year. They took a step back. Napoli, this is what I like about this league. Napoli, who were down here last year, are now up here. A few signings here and there, and they're now a force. Milan are on the way back. Juventus are still on a bit of a slide. But we're doing really, really well. I'm happy with this. When you think we've been in the Champions League this year, which is tough. And I've rotated a bit as well. I mean, when I'm playing lower level teams, I've been switching teams as well, which is risky. I think maybe I might have dropped the odd point taking a risk, but I don't want to go on burnout. I didn't want to burn my squad out. I wanted to try and be clever this year. Let's take a look at some of them results. And we started off against Juventus, drawing 1-1 away, which is respectable. And went on a really good run, undefeated, until we played Parma of all people, which... Although if you look at some of the players, I did quite a bit of rotating. Backup goalkeeper, backup left back. Ribeiro, I think, played on the right wing in that game. We got Mizuko playing as well. So, it is what it is. Beat Lazio, and then we went on a 2-game losing streak, obviously against Inter. Then we've been on a great run again. Last 3 games, though, struggled to win. The squad is looking tidy. Got some good average ratings, some good performances. Mr. Matthias, who might be unambitious, is brilliant. What a free signing that kid is. If we look at the goals, no one's standing out again. He's not standing out again, but the goals are getting spread around. I think if you had a world-class goalkeeper and an out-and-out 30-goal-a-year striker, we'd be scary. I have signed some future staff members, and one of them is ex-player. He left in 2010. He's now returned in 2025. It is Edison Cavani, who has been out of the game for a year since he retired from Flamengo. He's 38 years old. He's just an under-18s coach. I don't know if he becomes good because he looks absolutely appalling. I couldn't help it. I like Zlatan. Ex-Man U player, isn't he? And he retired in 2020. He's been out of the game for 5 years. I've seen him actually become a good manager on this game, although he don't want to be a manager. He don't want. I don't know what he wants to do, but again, Imagine having him teaching the youth. Bit of attitude and how to score goals. No, returning is a former club legend, Mr. Rooney himself, who is a good coach on this game. He was coach at Parma. So when he left us as a player, he wouldn't sign for me as a coach. Couldn't afford his wages. He went to Parma for a season and then left there. I don't know why. He's been out of the game now for 2 years. I've seen him become a good manager. Now we can afford his wages. We've brought him home. I know he was only with us for a season, but what a season it was in Serie B. He was our captain, our legend, our hero, and it's just great to have him back. He's a full-time coach. Ronaldo was buzzing with it. Ronaldo said he was happy with it. I love that little touch the game put out there. So we are really close to the end of the season here. We've only got 2 games left in the league, and we are currently 3rd. So yeah, I think 3rd's the best we can get in it. 2 games, 6 points, and put us in 80 points. So we've took a step back from last year in the league, which, you know, might look bad. But I don't think it's bad when you see everything else. We kicked off our Coppa Italia campaign, of course, against Cittadella, battering them, beating them 3-0 with, as you can see, pretty much a B team. Up next, it was Roma. Didn't B team this, thankfully, because it's Roma. We've got a bit of a battle with them going on, and we beat them 4-2 in an absolutely amazing, thrilling game. Love this game. Followed that up with a 2-legged semi-final against Juventus, which we started off very well. Curtis Jones. Freaking ledge. What a player he is. Give him a chance if you've never freaking given him a chance before. Which we just about did, drawing 2-2. Curtis Jones with a penalty. Love Curtis. But I think we deserve this. And we booked ourselves a place in the Coppa Italia final against Pep Guardiola and his mighty Inter team. Now, on my rebuilds, I don't do live cons, and I'm technically not going to do one here. I am. But I'm just going to show you very small snippets of the game. I want to share it with you. And if we get some confetti together, we'll get it together. It's something new. I've never done this before. One positive is, last time we played them at their place in the league this season, I mean, in March, we beat them 2-1. Now, I put out what I consider my best team. Because of my rotation, you might notice they're pretty fit. We are really strong there. And that is what I think is my best team. And I'm not really carrying any major injuries either. Fingers crossed this goes well, eh? 15 minutes in is Inter Milan. With probably the first major highlight. Oh, look at that. Cheeky. Diaz retrieves it for us. Can we turn what I thought was going to be an Inter highlight into a Palermo highlight? We'll see. But yeah, these boys are all starting to get to know each other. The links are starting to form. I've just got young players. I love building young players around wonder kids because there's a lot of wonder kids. But a good young playing squad. Oh, here we go. Can Arietta get us a goal? Oh! 1-0 Palermo. Get in. End of the first half. Can Inter pull one back? Oh my god, that is disallowed brilliantly. So it's half time and they've had a disallowed goal. We scored, but we've also had a lot of good chances. They've defended. They do a lot of Pep stuff, passing out from the back nice and slowly, and it didn't work for them. They've given the ball to us a few times now. Now, to be fair to Inter, they have had this ball now for a while. They've been passing it around, keeping it, passing it nice and slow, nice and patient. Bit too much, bit too patient for me. I'm a bit worried. From experience, this kind of highlight can lead to a goal. This game is so freaking predictable. 50p feet, scores with his head. Here we go, bit of pressure from the Palermo boys, all in pink shirts. Starting to get forward. Can we do our thing? Here's Bostovic on the right, fresh legs, find Azzurri. Italy's #1 right back, and he just lets himself down here. And this could be an Inter Milan freaking counter attack. Lukaku, the big lump, holding up the ball. Look at that big fat lump. I hate him. Is Esposito, very good player. Cuts his side to sit. Oh no, I'm feeling bad about this. I'm feeling bad about it. This does not sense. This does not feel good. This feels like the cup's going to be disappearing from our grasp any second now. Come on. Get a freaking foot in. What is wrong? We were so good in the first half. Absolutely shocking. I think they've got in our heads Pep Guardiola and his Inter Milan Ballfest team. And there you go. Romelu. Fuck you, Lukaku. So that's it. Cup final is over. I thought I'd share little bits of it with you. Hopefully you enjoyed watching us lose. For a second, I thought we might do them. But it looks like Inter Milan are doing their domestic double this season. Pep, you bastard. So, we had 2 more games to play in the league. And what to do well in them. And we did okay. The first one was against Genoa, which we won. 1-0. We could have done better. Just keep your eyes out for stuff. See if you notice anything. Next up was a Milan away, which again we won 1-0. We had a penalty miss. Claudio Ribeiro scored a goal, which I was very happy with. Now, as you know, it didn't matter how many points we got. Third was the best we could do. So we did finish third. I'll show you the league table at the end. Let's jump into the Champions League. And of course, we played Monaco. We beat them 2-1 at home. And we won 2-0. Again, great result. Fantastic achievement. Great performance. Loads of confidence from this. Well, it was Porto. At home, we beat them 2-0. Really happy with this because I took my striker off who'd scored. Brought Ribeiro on. Not only did he score, he played that well. He got man of the match. Jesus Christ, did they put my heart through the ringer. This was... At one point, I thought we'd done it. I stupidly, I was just panicking. So at the end, I'm putting everything forward. I'm going at full out attacking, telling them to push forward. I've not done the maths properly in my head. We had the away goal. I kept thinking I needed an extra goal. We would face Chelsea, a team we had in the group stage, a team that topped our group. I think we lost at our place, drew at theirs. 1-1 and 1-0 off the top of my head. And this was a battle. This felt like we had some close moments. They've got some really good players. Some of my lads really stood out. Diaz and Kev in the middle were great. Mauro had a performance. If we could have just scored another goal or two, it'd have been cushy. This was just so exciting. We're in the freaking Champions League final. Against 7-time Champions League winners. Yes, 7. They've won 7 on the game. Liverpool, who are managed by none other than Steven Gerrard. Steven Gerrard, Liverpool. We're in the Champions League final. Should we really have got here? I think we did well to get here. We don't... No, Monaco, Porto, beatable, but it was a Chelsea one. That was the big defining moment in this year's campaign. And now we come up against another Premier League team. And maybe if you've got a good eye, you might have noticed them last 2 games I've just played after that cup final. Off camera, I beating them both. But we'll see what happens here. Is Everton for Liverpool. Good defending from Azzurri. Italy's number 1. Right back. Stop dilly-dallying. Let's go. Let's go, Bok. Let's go. Let's go. Let's pass it out. We're doing a bit of a Inter Milan here. Finding a long ball to Arietta. Can he score? No, he can't. Liverpool have a corner. What's going to happen here? They've scored. They've scored. Fabinho. You wanker. Bastard. A Liverpool corner. Let's see what happens with this one. Can we defend it this time? We have. Can we do anything with it? Like nick it and catch him on the break? No, it's Liverpool pressure and it's a Liverpool goal. 2-0. It's Liverpool again. Alexander freaking Arnold puts into danger box and they've scored another one. Well, to cheer us up, I'm going to share a little video with you. It's only 30 seconds long. If you didn't see my last Salford video, you might not know this news, but me and my wife were having a baby, second child. We had our 20-week scan, so we found out the gender. I'm going to hand it over to my son, Fletcher, to reveal that to you.
Fletcher, Mummy went for a scan yesterday and the baby is perfect in every way. Can you remember whether you're having a baby sister or a baby brother?
A baby brother.
Yay! A baby brother? How exciting!
Yay!
Is that your baby brother? Where's your baby brother?
In your belly.
In my belly.
So there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed that little bit of fun. We need it, don't we, after that first half? It was shocking. Oh, we have a highlight. Start the second half. Can we get a consolation goal? We need a miracle similar to Liverpool's, don't we, against Milan? Do you remember that? Was it in Turkey when they came back from 3-0 down? Put 3-all. I think they went on penalties. Can't remember. Don't really care about Liverpool too much. But I doubt we're going to do that today. I doubt we're going to do that. I just think maybe we are a superstar striker and a goalkeeper away from being that next level, just going that one step up to being able to win a league title, win a cup, win a Champions League. We're just nearly men at the minute, aren't we? Definitely nearly men. Definitely nearly men. 4-0. Here comes Liverpool. Can they put the final nail in my coffin? No, they can't. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. Well, there you go. Stevie G won a Champions League trophy as a player for Liverpool, and he's now won one as a manager. So that's off to them. They played freaking great. They are a good team still, there, even with all their regens. But it is Liverpool, and I just think it shows me how much work I really need to do now to put the finishing touches to my team. And I would like to win the Serie A as well. So, I mean, a Serie A title or a Champions League would kill this series for me. So, yeah, I don't want to finish it yet. And hopefully you want to keep watching. So there we go. If you enjoyed it, smash that like button. If you really enjoyed it, become a patron. Find a link down below. Thanks as always for taking time out of your busy day to sit here with me and watch. And, you know, a bit disappointing, but I'm hoping you kind of enjoyed that. Little snippets of the game live with me, sharing it together. It would have been nice to share victory, but hopefully it gives you the drive, like it's given me the drive to stick with the series. So when we do something special, hopefully we'll enjoy it. It'll be that little bit more sweeter, won't it? It's a good test, that. Very proud. 3rd in the league, back in the Champions League. Champions League final is very special. Cup final, we nearly did that, so. Anyway, frustrations all around. But I hope you're well. I hope you're safe. And take care, man. For me and my family, we wish you all the best. I'm Boot. I'll see you next time.